Hi, this is Barbara from Scrapbook Mania, and today I'm going to show you a layout that I use using Zentangle. I got these books, and they're from Suzanne McNeil, and it teaches you how to create Zentangles, or mainly like doodles, and you can use these doodles to kind of embellish your pages. And I really like it. It's very simple to do, especially like you can start creating some of your embellishments or for your page, or even your page itself, kind of when you're in a doctor's office or you're just waiting. You can kind of create these Zentangles, and they make wonderful scrapbooks, as you can see there. And I got 3 books. I got the basics, and then I have another one which I've done another video how you can use die cuts, and then you can Zentangle on your die cuts. And she has nice examples in the back how you can take your die cuts and you can Zentangle on them. And then I have another one here. This is more like a layout using the Zentangle. So let me show you first how to do one, and then I'm going to show you a layout that I use using that technique, or a layout that I made using that technique. So you're going to need different sizes of pens, and I got this Martha Stewart pens, and they're different sizes. So the first thing you're going to do is kind of create, so let's pretend this is a scrap page. And either you can use a pencil or a pen, whichever you want. And you're going to go ahead and create kind of a design. So let's say I want to create a design like so. And then you're going to create the sections. Let's say I create a section like that. And then a section like that. Once you create your little sections, so each section gets like a little doodle or Zentangle, and then you just use the book. Like, you can take one of the examples of the book. Let's say you want to create this nested one, so you basically just create like the circles, and then the next circle, and then make the little netting. So it's kind of fun to do. So let me show you a page that I did something like that. So I took this cream color cardstock, and I went ahead and did a little shape, and I Zentangled throughout the whole shape with different little sections. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of spruce it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and color it. So you can take your colors. So my pictures for this one is going to has like a blue background. So, and this is my son, and then his cousin, and they're kind of goofing around. So I'm going to use their pictures to kind of bring in the colors that I want. I want to give it that kind of variegated look. So I'm going to need a lot of different colors of blue. So let me go ahead and get my blue, and we're going to start creating the different color strips onto my page. Okay, so I'm getting ready to use some of my glimmer mist, homemade glimmer mist. And I'm going to use 3 different colors of kind of blue, and then a yellow color. So I'm going to be using, instead of using the spray of the bottles, I'm going to actually be using my air gun, because I want a fine mist. And I don't want it kind of looking clumpy. So that's why I decided to use the air gun instead of using the spray bottles. So the next color that I'm going to be using is kind of like a little grayish blue. So that's going to be my second color. And I try to kind of make it that you don't see the layers of the different color. I'm graduating the colors on the page, so that way it kind of fades into the next band, or the next color band. Okay, and I'm just making sure I clean it real good between colors. And I like to use clear water from another bottle and then I spray into a regular like water bottle to clean it up. Now I'm using the yellow, so that's going to be my last color. So I'm going to use some yellow, and then I'm going to, after this, I'm going to allow it to dry, and I'll come back. Okay, so now it's nice and dry, so I'm going to go ahead and attach this to a black piece of cardstock. So I'm going to use some of my adhesive. So let me get my double stick adhesive and glue it down on the page. I have a black piece of cardstock here. Is that the one? Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and set this aside, and I'm going to go ahead and lay down my pictures. And I like to first, when I want to put pictures right next to each other, I like to tape it first and make it one piece. Then I will go ahead and I'll go ahead and adhere it to my paper. And then I'm going to use these perfect layers, and I'm going to cut around it. So these are perfect. These perfect layer rulers are perfect, so that way you get an even matting around your pictures. So I'm going to leave 3/16 of an inch of spacing between the picture and my mat. And I got these a long time ago at QVC, when QVC used to sell scrapbooking items. So, and these are one of my items that I use a lot too. And if I haven't shown you what perfect layers is, it has grooves on the ruler itself, and then these right here in this groove, it kind of catches the picture, so it catches the edge of the picture, and then you just, once it catches on, you can go ahead and cut it off, and it will be a perfect spacing between all sizes of your pictures. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring back my original layout, and I'm going to place this right here. Okay, it's going to be very simple. Okay, I went ahead and cut out some embellishments here, and I'm going to play around with the spacing. So basically I might want to have it a grouping of embellishments here and a grouping of embellishments here. I'm not sure yet. Put that there. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put that for my date. Or put it here. Okay, so I'm going to use some foam dots. And let me start placing some of the embellishments down. So I'm just cutting some of my foam adhesive and just placing them on my embellishments and just placing everything down. So I'm going to use that butterfly to kind of hide the mistake that I made there with half of a tag, and I'm almost done. And there you have it. Very simple page. I don't want to put a lot of fuss because I want to emphasize you already have a lot of kind of busyness or a lot of texture with your Zentangle. You really don't want to go ahead and distract putting a lot of embellishments to kind of distract the person that's looking at your pictures, to distract them from the picture itself. So there it is. So that's my layout using Zentangle, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Here's my finished page, and let me just zoom in. I did put one of my flags on there that says Cherish, and I finished it up with a little bit of my journaling, more journaling, and then I put the date on my half tag there. And that was it. So I hope you liked this tutorial, and I hope you got some ideas of how you can really create a page just using some ink and your pen and get a totally unique design. Thank you for watching. Bye.